Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As we welcome you once again to the airwaves of Salaamedia on the various platforms. And this interview is coming to you live out of our studios here in Johannesburg, an interview that I certainly have been looking forward to, and the much awaited visit of Sister Nadima Noor, a reality for us here at Salam Media and also in collaboration with the South African National Muslim Women's Forum. For the next 2 weeks, the country will be exposed to Sister Nadima, her purpose of a visit, Canadian, Afghan, but there is just so much she can share in terms of bringing value and also at the same time the perceptions, the misconceptions, and the misunderstandings regarding Afghanistan and to clear those matters. And incidentally, for me, really, and I was telling Sister Nadima earlier on, my broadcasting career started immediately after 9/11 when the United States had invaded Afghanistan. And the last 20 years, there is just so much that we have looked at, we have discussed, and also at the same time to get a clear understanding as to what is actually taking place in Afghanistan, together with the stories of people, real people in Afghanistan. Everyone says that Afghanistan has had a complex history, but it also has got a very, very rich history. The perception that Afghanistan, one of the poorest countries in the world, a backward country. We've heard about the Taliban under the Taliban government, about women, about the subjugation of women. All of that is being dominated in the mainstream media, but there is more to Afghanistan, and that is the reason why Sister Nadima Noor is here to unpack what is taking place in Afghanistan. Sister Nadima, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Really an absolute pleasure. And not only on behalf of myself, but on behalf of the entire Salam Media team who are sitting, who are watching this interview, we welcome you to South Africa.
وعلیکم السلام ورحمت الله وبرکاته. اول خو ستړي مشه، خدای دې وکړي چې ښه وئ، جوړ وئ، روغ وئ، تکړه وئ، صحت کې وئ، مینه محبت کې وئ، دوستۍ کې وئ، اتفاقۍ کې وئ. زه تاسو په ټینګاره ککای. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much, very kindly, and to yourself, Mariam sister, Salam Media, and the South African Muslim Women Forum for having me here, for giving me the chance to use me as a vessel to transmit this positive, correct information about Afghanistan. I loved what you said earlier, that Afghanistan is such a rich country. I always tell everyone that, can we correct the narrative? The Afghanistan people and the country is broken. It's not a poor country. How do you create an expectation of individual that you confine, repress, and beat down and justify all that in the name of race, religion, and terrorism, and then expect them to stand straight and have a smile and welcome you to their home when you have broken it in the first place? So I'm really grateful that you've started then in that way, by acknowledging and honoring my people, and by looking at everything from the place of truth. And you also mentioned 9/11. I cannot wait to speak with you in more details about that. That's good.
Well, we certainly will. And I think, what is important is, as I said, is to clear this misconception, and which is important. And I think many who don't know the history of Afghanistan,
Yeah.
Afghanistan was a superpower at some point in
It
time.
still is a superpower.
And it still is a superpower.
But they don't. If it wasn't a super place, nobody would be there. There's something about the country that everybody's interested. I just wish that the world will start acknowledging that and honoring it, and say, here we are for this purpose, instead of justifying it in a negative way and killing innocent people. It is the super land still.
Exactly. But I think, obviously there is a whole humanitarian aspect. And for you, I suppose, personally, to look at Afghanistan where it is, and we're not only talking about since 9/11, we're going back even at the time when the Russians had invaded Afghanistan in the 1800s, when the British had actually come and invaded Afghanistan. And that is the reason why it's called the graveyard of empires. But in the last 42 years, from the Russian invasion right until 9/11,
graveyard of invaders,
exactly,
and colonizers.
Exactly. and 42 years, there are people, 42 years of their lives, they have known nothing but pain and heartache as a
Yes,
result of the
betrayal,
invasions.
lies,
Exactly.
deceiveness. Yes, I'm 39 years old. I was a year old when my family immigrated from Afghanistan, and it was because of that, because of invasion, because of war, because of, I don't even understand the meaning of war anymore. Like Afghanistan is not at war, it's a group of people want to come to that country and take over the resources. That's how I'm looking at it. And it's okay, you're more than welcome to come, but come with honor, come with respect, come with a presentation that will benefit both countries. Come to my country, you're more than welcome. I want to say that to even to all of you, to South Africa. We are open to invite all of you in the mining section, in the recreational section, in the education section, in the health section, but come with dignity, come with honor, represent your intention. Don't come to me and justify it through terrorism and challenging values that we hold so dearly because they are somehow not aligned with you. No, don't try to change us. Come help us build the country like many countries have been built, but it will be done based on the condition and the rules and the regulation of my country and my people.
Exactly. And I think, this entire game that is being played out in Afghanistan by all these foreign powers, I don't think they've truly understood who the Afghani people are. And if you could perhaps give us an insight as to who the Afghan people are, because we know they are vibrant. One
Beautiful,
feels a lot of safe.
kind.
Exactly. And also one looks at personalities, some of the great personalities of Afghanistan, and some of the
Yes,
names that come to mind, Mahmoud of Ghazni, we're talking of
yes,
Jamaluddin Afghani, we're talking about,
yes,
these are great
yes,
personalities that history has actually forgotten.
yes. Well, I'm an Afghan woman. I'm also I have to also acknowledge Canada because I've lived in Canada for 20 years. That's also my second home. I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to learn in Canada, and I'm also grateful that Canada created. They have an environment where I had the opportunity to uh, discover my own home. So now that I'm in Afghanistan, I am an Afghan woman. I live now in Afghanistan. I am part of that community, and to be honest, I came with a certain mindset, and I understand this mindset. Everybody comes in. We come with a pre notion of how the country is. When I came to Afghanistan, one thing I learned about the people of Afghanistan that I had to remember that my mother tried to instill in me is forgiveness, understanding, empathy, patience. And you never plan everything. You just have faith because of everything that has happened in Afghanistan for so many years. People don't plan 10 years. They say, okay, I have 5 sons, two will probably die, three will be okay. But the fact that they have that gratitude and acceptance of life, how many countries will have can go through what they're still going through in 2022 and are still having a positive attitude, still wake up in the morning, they put a nice smile on, and they wake up even if they're begging or going to business office, say, we're going to be okay. And that kind of attitude, it takes a lot of pain, a lot of practice to have. So the people of Afghanistan are very giving. I, as an Afghan woman, will give you my heart, everything. But if you cut me and if you do me wrong, then there's going to be eye for an eye, nose for a nose. But that's how you're supposed to do it. What else choice do I have? If I'm giving you my all and trusting you to come to my country and trusting you to be part of my family, sharing my food with you, my clothes, and then you come around and bite me, I will have to now to protect my family. And then I feel like that has been done over and over again with the people of Afghanistan.
Yes. Now, a few days ago, we actually spoke about 9/11 and what had taken place at 9/11. It was in September as well. So 20 odd years later, we commemorated 9/11. But for someone like you, Afghanistan, which was basically first in the firing line after the events of 9/11 had taken place, what did it actually mean to you?
For me, I'm just trying to truly understand, what did 9/11 have to do with my people? And also, say there is a bad guy in Afghanistan. How That's not a way to conduct an investigation. I'm not just going to come to South Africa and start bombarding because I'm looking for Michael or Mohammed. I am going to conduct a professional, respectful, in orderly approach. Going to find out, why am I going to start killing you villagers? Why am I going to destroy what you work so hard for? How is that okay? And why are we getting away with such thing? And now, 21 years later, everyone has left. So, what about my widows? What about my orphans? What are you going to do for them? You killed my villagers. You destroyed my road. Yes, there was progress, but we didn't need to. But the amount of death that has taken place, who is going to answer for that? How is that going to be corrected? And how do we know this is not going to happen again? Who's going to stand and take accountability for that? When I go to these villages, when I bring rice and flour, the women often tell me, Nadima, can you ask about my son? He was killed because he had a beard. Why did they kill my innocent son in the name of terrorist? He was going to school. He wanted to be an engineer. We were saving money to send him to India. So I want those answers. I want to know. And also, I also want to move forward. Okay, we forgive, we forget, we move forward. But now, how are we moving forward? How can you come to my country, kill all these people, and then decide to not only leave, but then also block what belongs to the people? How is that okay? And the whole world is watching this. And then my people are considered the bad people. Like, there's a game that's being played and it needs to stop because there's life that are at stake and there's innocent children that are dying.
Well,
You know.
certainly, and you're talking about blocking, and we know of the billions of Afghan funds that are
Yes.
being frozen at this point in time.
Yes.
But one cannot forget the massive, the huge humanitarian cost. And we see it in every conflict situation. We've seen it in Afghanistan, we see it in Syria, we see what's happened with the Rohingya. And for me, the most vulnerable are the women and the children.
And the
And
men, I'm
and
sorry, I
men as
love you,
well.
men too. Men,
Yes.
men go through the worst because they have to become the strongest. They have to listen to the mother, the wife, the sister, the daughter, and the son, and he has to still go out. So I am for humanity. I'm for mother, father, and the children all together. They're all equally hurting. They're all equally feeling the pain. Yes, the women are the most vulnerable because they're not exposed to education. A lot of widows, they don't have education background. They never got a chance to go to school. So when their husband dies, they have to either beg on the street or, excuse my language, forgive me for saying this, but we have to be blunt, they have to sell themselves to provide food. But again, who started that? How, who did it? And now, how are we going to stop this?
Exactly. I think the reason why I mentioned women and how easily it is to actually use women as a reason, as an excuse. And we've seen this in the case of Afghanistan, where 9/11 and until today, there are many unanswered questions. I have spoken of the years to
Yeah.
many people, to many analysts, to
Uh-huh.
conspiracy theorists, to many that have written. I've even spoken to the person who was the last person that walked out of the World Trade Center, William Rodriguez.
Uh-huh.
And he's also got his own version as to what had happened on that day of 9/11. So there are many unanswered questions. But what dominated the headlines was the treatment of women in Afghanistan. When one
Yes.
looks at the invasion of Iraq, one of the biggest issues there was about the treatment of one woman in
Yeah.
Iraq as well. So every time to justify
Mhm.
how women are actually being used as an excuse.
Well, they're still being used, and all these women around the world who have strong stand on activism and feminine, they're feminists. I just listen to their speeches, from their warm homes and the comfort of their nice spaces. I'm like, and I'm thinking, there's women like myself that have organization that are in Afghanistan. Why are you not directly engaging with me to get these women involved in the trade? Their businesses have been put on hold. I have over 100 women that do craft the clothes I'm wearing. Why are you not supporting them? What is these women, me purchasing their product, us using their product and us supporting them has anything to do with the sanctions? Why are you not taking an individual stand? If we women now in 2022 claim that we are our own voices and we're strong, then come unite with me for the women. Let men do their own thing. Let the politician do their own thing. But let us take the responsibility for helping. Now, right now, I want to ask the world, since last year, since Taliban's entered to Kabul, how many women around the world have given enormous amount of money to women to continue their work? I have women that have NGOs. I'm one of the women. I'm not being supported by the women that are giving big speeches in parliaments or conferences. They all want to. You're right. I feel that the women of Afghanistan women are being used to justify what has not what they want to do. They're not there for women's education. If they're really here for women's education in Afghanistan, help me set up online courses. I have over 50 educated women, university graduate, fluent in English, in Arabic. Help them. They can bring up to 30 women into their home and teach them and continue their education. So why is that not happening? So I feel like if we truly want to do something, we will find a way to do it. But now the way the approach towards Afghanistan is taking place for the women and the education, it's only just a talk. Everybody talks about, okay, why Taliban put sanction, why they're not letting the women go to school. A lot of the women are not even coming to public school because they don't have a way to pay them. A lot of these girls, they don't have anyone to bring them to school. For me, my priority is putting food on the table, making these women independent, the mothers, so they can have salaries that they can send the little girls to school. So I think if we want to do something for the future of the children, whether it's in Afghanistan or any part of the world, then we have to also present the solution. Don't come on stage and say, why is there no schools for women in Afghanistan? No, okay, stop, back up. First, tell me, do you know how much trauma the people of Afghanistan have? They're not made out of a brick wall. Every country has a say in my country. And to be honest, 90% of these countries have not, they don't even know what Afghan people eat. They just have looked at a paper, a speech, and they just spit it out to the people, not realizing the effect it has on my people. So I want that to stop. Okay.
Well, it certainly has to stop. But also apart from the women, I think one of the other issues, and in terms of the divide and rule policy in Afghanistan, and we know that Afghanistan is made up of cross sections of society, people from various backgrounds as well. And I quite like, in fact, the other day I was actually looking at the Afghan national anthem. And I was
Okay.
just looking at the words of the national anthem,
Yes.
talking about unifying the
Mhm.
various
Yeah.
peoples from Afghanistan, all from different backgrounds. And
Mhm.
right towards the end, also, I actually liked it where it speaks about Allahu Akbar three
Yes.
times right at the end.
Yes.
Now, this is, Afghanistan is not for the lack of not caring for women or the lack of caring for
Mhm.
society. But what we've seen also after 9/11 is how Afghan society was actually broken down. When
Thank
we've
you.
seen the
Exactly.
Northern Alliance and we see
Yes.
how they took sides,
Yes.
and I'm sure that
I
impact.
agree with you. Afghanistan, we need healing. We need nurturing. We need unconditional care. We need to be told we're going to be okay. We suddenly have a new government. And also, even if this new government tries, it will always be blacklisted to the world. For example, Afghanistan has it's the safest in the world right now. They went to every home and checked every home and took illegal weapons. They found girls that were kidnapped. They found doctors that were taken for ransom. There was no mentioning of it in the news. That's an effort. And it has never been done in 45 years in Afghanistan, where you go up, a group of policemen come into your home and say that we don't want any illegal weapons. That's a huge security that is for the people of Afghanistan. And I can go around anywhere in the middle of the night to anyone's home and be relaxed. Like the other day, even today, when I put my window down yesterday, I was driving with Mariam's sister, and she said, "Keep your window up. There's a
Mm,
lot of thieves around."
yes.
Uh,
Well,
you don't have that issue in Afghanistan. Was there those issue in Afghanistan? Yes. Am I saying that this current government is perfect? Absolutely not. Am I saying the previous government was perfect? No. But we have to now, if we truly want Afghanistan to prosper, if we truly want to take accountability for the damage we've done, if we want to correct it, Now we have to look things from the place of effort. And I know there's effort been taking place.
Yes, Sister Nadima, I'm sure you and I are going to have a lot more actually to
Yes.
talk about, but I've just seen the note come up that we've got this dreaded thing called load shedding in our country, and in the next 2 minutes, obviously, we will be losing power. So,
Okay. Well,
you are
I'm
in.
very used to that. We have that in Afghanistan all the time. So it's okay. It makes me feel good that
But
we're not
what we'd
alone in
like to
this.
do, obviously, is to promote your tour to South Africa.
Thank
And I've
you.
got Apa
Thank
Maria
you.
Mia as well, and now she is hosting you. So I just want her very quickly to just give us an overview of Sister Nadima's tour to South Africa, Apa Maria.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Juma Mubarak to all our listeners and viewers. And yes, in this past 2 weeks, I've been a guest speaker on Salaamedia, promoting the tour quite often. I'm becoming a regular now. Alhamdulillah, it was very emotional yesterday, finally connecting with my beloved sister. It was really tears of joy, tears of pinching each other. Nadima said, Mariam, I can touch you. I can touch you. I'm not seeing you through a screen. When I was detained, I was sitting in jail. And I said, can I leave now? And they questioned me and they said, where do you need to go? She told me, I said, I need to go to South Africa. Mariam Mia and Salaamedia and the sisters from South African National Women's Forum are waiting for me. They're waiting for me. You know what? They're interested in investing in Afghanistan. They're interested in supporting the sisters so that they can be industrious, they can be entrepreneurs. Nadima said, they don't want handouts. She asked me, are you happy? Are you happy? Do you want a handout? Because the sisters don't want handout. They need support to build their businesses, to sustain them, not only themselves, their concern, their fikr is for their families, for their children to be educated, male and female, to be educated, for their lives to be uplifted, social upliftment. So please, sisters and brothers around, watch the space for the tour. Tomorrow, all your sisters in and around the Johannesburg and surrounding, and even for those in areas like Uncle Inayat's hometown, Benoni, please come out and support and listen to Sister Nadima, as well as there are dynamic speakers there on a variety of topics, very informative, inspirational, insightful. A conference is going to be, yes, it's the annual South African National Women's Empowerment Conference. There are few tickets are limited, but there are few spaces available. So please come out. And then we're going to the province of Zanin, my second home. I lived in Zanin about 20 years ago, so I'll be returning home. We're moving then to Polokwane. So please, all you out there in the north, please do join us, sisters and brothers from the north. And then we're coming back to Uncle Inayat's hometown in Benoni. So please come and meet Uncle Inayat. For all those who want to meet Uncle Inayat, please, PLF and the East Rand, the entire East Rand, please, it's all happening at Spur in Bogsburg on Tuesday evening. And then we're coming to Middelburg, we're coming to Nelspruit, we're coming to Malalan. Here we come. We're going to be visiting Roshni, and then we're coming back to Johannesburg as well, and in between, and all the other towns. If you want Sister Nadima there, if you want to welcome her and give her the great South African hospitality and make her khidmat and listen to her narrative, listen to the messages from the sisters in Afghanistan. She's the voice, she's amplifying the voices. Then please contact myself or Sister Hava. It's all the information is available on the Salaamedia online pages, on our Instagram, on our Facebook. You can DM us as well. But please don't miss this opportunity to contact Sister Nadima. She wants to be connected with you. She's not one of those celebrities that, speak to her agent manager and you can't get contact. She wants, as she's holding me, she wants to hold your hand. She wants to embrace us and she wants to connect with us. So please do come out and support Sister Nadima. This is groundbreaking, revolutionary. She's a trailblazer. So let's meet with her. I think first time ever we have a sister from the soil of Afghanistan telling it like it is. So inshallah, Brother Inayat, I'll leave you to end. And shukran for having me on News and Views. First time I've been live on News and Views here. So it's a first for everything.
Well, that's groundbreaking and revolutionary as well, having you, Apa Mariam, as you speak about Sister Nadima. But yes, Apa Mariam Mia has outlined everything in terms of the program, and yes, you can hear the excitement in her voice as well as she has been promoting the tour of
Powerful
Sister
energy.
Nadima Noor, inshallah. And we look forward to a successful
Yes.
tour. And
Inayat
I
brother,
think
thank
you
you
and
very
I,
kindly.
inshallah, I'm still
Yes.
looking to having further discussions.
Yes.
Just a petty time has been of the essence.
Yes. Inat brother, thank you very kindly for having me. And again, once again, Salam Media, the South African National Women Forum, and Mariam Jan Gwali Kurbandisham. Thank you, all of you. And South Africa, thank you very kindly. And also, I want to thank the people of Afghanistan and even the new government who gave me their blessing to come here and be the voice and give my narrative. I know Allah is perfect. We're not perfect, but we can dwell on the past. But I think time now is that we move forward in the direction of goodness. This is the time. We can go in the past and dig and we'll go into a hole that will never be able to come out. But what we can do now is move forward and learn from the past, and for our new generation, the future of our children, create paths that is going to be prospering and brightful, inshallah.
Well, inshallah, and I think what is important for us is also not to expose you to a Muslim audience, because I think we will try, we will do our best to get hold of other media houses so that
Yes.
they can understand the true narrative of
Yes.
Afghanistan.
That'd be
And,
lovely.
many of them obviously take their views from mainstream, from embedded journalism that is
Yes.
taking place, the media moguls right across the
Yes.
entire world, that further is a particular agenda. But I think in South Africa itself, I'm sure that there are many voices, both within the Muslim and the non-Muslim communities, that would like to hear a voice of Afghanistan. And with that, we need to be signing off. And Jazakallah once again
Thank you.
for
Thank
coming
you.
on in studio,
Jazakallah
and to
khair.
everybody else here at Salam Media. Until we meet again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.